Spirit is talking about emotional wounds today. It's talking about the emotional wounds that each and every single one of us carries. And the way that he put it, I quite liked it. Because Spirit brought forward that if you were to cut your finger or injure yourself with a cut, a graze, you would probably wash that cut, that wound, and apply antiseptic cream, and you would look at it and see whether it needed medical attention, whether it needed a plaster, whether it needed a bandage. And depending on what it needed, if it was a plaster or a bandage, you would eventually know that you can't keep on wearing the bandage or the plaster. That after a while you would need to let that cut, graze, that wound start healing from the bandage being removed and the air getting to that wound. Because by letting that wound have some exposure to the air, it helps it heal that little bit more from having the bandage, the plaster around it. And what Spirit is saying is that this is your emotional wounds, that you need to remove the band-aid and expose your feelings, your emotions. Because what Spirit was saying is that you have been covering up an emotional wound for far too long. And at first, you needed to nurse it. But now you need to think about it and work through it. Letting out those emotions will be beneficial, Spirit is saying. So whatever emotional wounds you have been carrying, whatever it is that you have been nursing and carrying, whether that is in bereavement, whether that's in loss, whether that's in something traumatic, whether that is something of a financial or materialistic loss, how somebody has spoken to you, how somebody has treated you, being in an experience or a situation that has caused you so much emotional trauma, Spirit is saying you need to start in your own good time working on unearthing those emotions. So let's see what Spirit would like to bring forward to further this guidance. Spirit is talking about that there is some emotional wounds that you need to stop nursing now and covering up. That you need to think about it and you need to work it through. What are you saying, Spirit? You need to work through it in letting out those emotions. Okay. So what is it that you want to bring forward, please, Spirit, to further this guidance, please? Thank you. Because we have heart love coming forward, okay? So this is about you mending and fixing your heart. Those emotions that you feel that are buried deep within your heart, okay? You need to fix and mend your broken heart with whatever you have gone through, whatever you have suffered, whatever you are continuing to nurse and battle through right now, okay? That this is about that self-nurturing, that self-care, that self-love. That by loving yourself, by being gentle with yourself, by being patient with yourself, by honouring your thoughts and feelings, you can mend and fix and release the emotional wounds that you have carried so long deep within your heart, Spirit is making me aware of. Because we have the sunflower action. And what Spirit is saying with the sunflower in action is that sometimes when we are dealing with something emotional, with emotional wounds, whether that be emotional wounds that is causing us to have it with our mental health, with our emotional well-being, sometimes it pays for us to tell others how we are feeling. It pays for us to lean on to other people for that support, for that emotional support. And what Spirit is saying is that in order for you to release these emotional wounds, it may well be that you need to start taking action with taking the necessary action in seeking that emotional support through the right channels, whether that be therapy, counselling, whether that be talking to friends and family. But sometimes it is good, Spirit is saying, to not keep carrying those emotional wounds within us. That sometimes by expressing and talking it through with somebody else who is going to listen and not judge you can sometimes be that little bit of weight off our shoulders that we need, okay? And what Spirit is saying is also pay attention to how you express your emotions. That it is okay to express however you need to express, whether that's journaling, whether that's screaming, whether that's shouting, okay? Whether that's punching a punch bag, sorry. Do it. Take that necessary action in trying to release what you have been carrying for such a long time that causes you to shut off, close down, not allow your heart to be open to anything or people. Because Spirit is saying you do not need to suffer anymore. That you are tired emotionally, mentally and physically. And you are not alone, Spirit is saying. I feel very emotional right now. And I know that somebody is hurting, is going through something that is very deep. But you need to free yourself. Free yourself from the chains, the cage that you feel like you're in, Spirit is saying. Because we have power lines, energy coming in. So not only is this affecting you with your emotions, it's affecting you with your energy. And with that, Spirit is making me aware of that physical side of things. Because you're not sleeping, you're not eating right, you're not looking after yourself because of what you are currently nursing with these emotional wounds. And this is where the action's coming in, because you need to start looking after yourself. Because you feel like everything is against you. You feel like you don't want people to pity you. You feel like people will see you and view you differently for what you've experienced and gone through. But at the same time, Spirit is saying this is all about living a life where you are free, where you can have that abundance, that prosperity, a good life. Not only is that, but you have been building up that resilience. You have become resilient to certain things around you. But it's time now. Because what Spirit is saying is healing is not always linear, and that you do need to be patient with yourself and the progress. with it.